The last thing that I wanted to end on is something that was really important to me. I did this just a couple of days ago, but I've told you kind of my plans of what I'd like to do, my goals and my priorities, but I actually want to run through a list that this is really important, really, it's really important to me. And this was really valuable. I'm going to run through the list of accomplishments that I've made so far, as since I've kind of basically starting a few years ago on my when I started my wander, literally, and my quarter life crisis. Like, these were some of this is kind of when that journey started, and it's finally whittling down to like, oh, I kind of have a little bit of an idea of what I want to do with my life. But here, so just these are some of the things that I've accomplished. This was huge, and I'm going to try to find the video for this because I actually recorded this, but making my own schedule without outside obligations. That happened a few months ago, and it was such an amazing thing to be able to just sit down and design what you want your day every day to look like without any other obligations, without anybody else telling you what to do, where to go, how to spend your time. Such a powerful thing. I have not set my alarm in a really freaking long time. I've gotten so much crap my entire life for not getting up early. And it's not that I don't get up early. I have been at work at 6 o'clock for years, but I like staying up late, and I need a lot of sleep. Over the last couple of years, I've realized my body needs 8.5 hours of uninterrupted sleep every single night for me to be decent and not to be just to not be kind of miserable. So I haven't set an alarm. I mean, I've set an alarm occasionally for certain things, but I don't set an alarm. I wake up whenever I need to, and my schedule is dictated to do that because the first 4 hours of my day is exercise. That's freaking huge. Okay. I now do not. Here's another thing. I don't have to work hourly. That was a decision I made a few months ago. Not that I think that it's bad, but for me to get to where I wanted to go, I'm not going to work hourly again. Now, I don't want to be incredibly strict on this because there's a lot of opportunities. I am not going to work hourly strictly to pay the bills. I'll go work hourly for $2 an hour if it's something I can learn, or if I can be with good people, or if I can learn, an experience or a skill or something like that. I have no qualms working for nothing. But I'm not going to work hourly anymore. I want to be able to work remotely. That has been accomplished. Over the last 3 years, have been able to travel extensively, and I'm going to continue to travel extensively. Once you get bit by that bug and you realize that it's actually cheaper to travel than it is to just kind of do the typical American stay at home and pay all these bills things, it's great, and I'm never going back. My life, I'm traveling constantly. Mini retirements, which has to do with the extended travels. I mean, I did work through this, but mini retirements, been able to do that. Definitely plan on doing a lot of that. I actually do. I can't I can't say I can't, but my schedule right now, I have a lot of things to accomplish, but eventually I want to be able to take a month off a week, and eventually 3 to 6 months off a year, if not more. We're working there, getting there. We shall see. I have finally been able to prioritize my health, which has first time in my life. I have made a lot of steps. I've cut out a lot of things in my life, and just being able to sit down, write my schedule, know that exercise is my health and exercise is number one priority. It's an amazing thing. It's an absolute amazing thing. I'd really recommend it. I have learned the basics of cameras, photography, and videography. I am nowhere near good, but I will tell you what, if you guys don't know about especially videography, there's a lot to learn. This bad boy here is my last piece of equipment that I had to buy because you can't do videos without a very capable computer. And that took me 2 years to figure out. I mean, I don't even want to go into the details, but when I first took a photo, they all turned out black because I didn't know how to do anything. When I started recording videos, I didn't know anything about frame rate. I didn't know anything about lighting or audio editing. I didn't know any of this stuff, but I have finally gotten to the point that I can at least record something and post it. And that actually took a long time. I Next on my list of accomplishments, I actually have an outline for a book. I'm a terrible writer, but it's always kind of been a goal of mine, because I am a terrible writer, to write a book. This took a long time, and I still, running through what you guys saw, there's a lot to kind of put in there and to go through, but I legit have an outline for a book. Here's another one that's freaking huge for me. I haven't had alcohol for 1.5 years. That was a battle that I fought for a long time, and I had to literally move out of state to finally be able to do that. Done that. Out of my, what a freaking awesome decision and accomplishment. Here you go, Seth. Well done. That one for sure. And this one's not even on here, but about, I don't even know, 5 or 6 years ago, I quit using tobacco too. I used to be, at one point in my life, I mean, I smoked all the way through high school and college as an athlete, but I was smoking a pack. Well, this was after being an athlete. I smoked all the way through my freshman year. And then I got into college, couldn't freaking do track as a smoker. So I started chewed a can a day, graduated college, went back to smoking, smoked a pack a day. And then fortunately got the flu quite a few years ago, and quit cigarettes. So that's another one. That used to be the best decision of my life. Quitting alcohol is better than quitting tobacco. Here's another goal that I've done right now that I've recently accomplished. I want to live somewhere that I don't need to drive anywhere. So I'm here. I finally got to a place. Next place that I plan on living, that's an absolute requirement. So I bought that bike, which allows me to transport without transportation without the stress of traffic. Man, I hate traffic. And incorporating exercise all the time. I joined a rock gym, which doesn't seem like a big deal to you. It's not a big deal, but it is an accomplishment that I had written and done. It's also working out really great. Just before my camera shut off, I was just about to tell you the accomplishment that I have. I finally have a studio set up that makes it easy to just come sit down and record, with the slight hiccup of my camera turning off randomly. We shall figure that out. But this is also another huge accomplishment, because some of my other videos, like the one with my welding shop that I'll put up here, man, prepping for that and getting the lighting and audio and everything ready was a lot of work. So I'm hoping this setup is going to allow me to kind of just really get more content out there. The next thing, 2 more, I have a journal that I have been keeping every day that I made up myself. I think journaling is one of these things, key to success or science to success, that a lot of people do. That's something that I've been meaning to do, especially trying to organize these thoughts. But I was always having kind of issues of just doing it. I don't even know, not even the traditional way, somebody told me how to journal. But I had to come up with a bunch of questions to really engage it. And it's really a positive, confidence building, self-affirming thing that I've built that's really been great. And I think that is something that's really important to me that I'd like to share. Okay. And then last and absolutely not least, this is, I kind of was freaking out about this the other day because, well, I'll just explain it to you. 3 different times in my life, I could say I am completely organized. And I've just recently got to a point. For the first time, I became a minimalist 4 or 5 years ago. At least 5 years ago. I had a bunch of stuff. I had tons of tools. I eventually whittled it all down to be able to travel in a backpack. The last year after COVID hit, I've kind of been building some things up again. But there was a point in all of that where, for the first time in my life, I actually knew where everything I owned was. And it was such an amazing feeling of being like, okay, I don't own anything I don't need or want. And I know where everything is at. First time that happened was probably about a couple of years ago. As of recently, I was able to do that with my physical things, which where I'm at now, which was a really big, which is, a great feeling. I've already kind of been there before, but something even bigger than that was this piece of paper here that I've organized. I, for the first time in my life, 2 or 3 days ago, actually got almost all of my thoughts organized. And in my opinion, that's a huge freaking accomplishment. So these are kind of the things I wanted to do this little section just for myself, but also to kind of just maybe give a little bit of credence to what I'm going for, because I know these days, if you're not have a massive following, or if you don't have a big business or something like that, people don't really kind of give you the time of day, which is, I completely understand that we should pay attention to you until there's something worth paying attention. With these, I think it was important because I've trying to make it abundantly clear that money is not my number one priority. These things here, being able to sleep good every night, being able to make my schedule exactly how I want to. These are the types of things that are really important to me. And so I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of credence to myself, and also just kind of show you that, like, yeah, there really are more important things. Pick your own things that are really important to you. Making the most amount of money, I doubt it's not important to many people. So that's all I've got to say now. Thanks for listening. I really hope you got some value out of this. Again, please, I would really appreciate your support through subscribing. I have a new podcast, and if you want to look at all the things in the description, I would really appreciate it. All right, till next time, hit the subscribe button for me, would you?